There is a woman known only as SM who feels no fear. She's been held at gunpoint twice and at knife point 3 times. On one of those occasions, she was walking to a store when a man on a park bench said, "Come here, please." She walked over to him and asked him, "What do you need?" He grabbed her by the shirt and held a knife to her throat, telling her he was going to cut her. She said, "Go ahead and cut me. I'll be coming back, and I'll hunt your ass." SM, realizing that might seem an odd reaction, thought, "Oops, am I supposed to say that? I'm sorry, I wasn't afraid." He let her go, and she just went home. SM is the codename researchers Justine Feinstein and his team at the University of Iowa have given her to protect her identity. When asked to describe what fear is like, she draws a blank, although there was a time when she could feel fear. She remembers being afraid of the dark as a child and feeling a fear of animals that she thought might hurt her. Now she has to be stopped when confronting poisonous snakes because she can't help but want to touch them. SM's loss of fear is actually a side effect due to a rare condition, Urbach-Wiethe disease, a rare disease with only 400 known cases since 1929. To be affected by it, a person's parents would both have to be carriers, and they would both need to pass that gene on to their child. Simply being a carrier does not lead to a manifestation of the disease. Symptoms vary and can result in a hoarse voice and usually affect the skin, such as lesions, scarring, dry skin, or a poor ability for wounds to heal. There is no known cure, but generally it doesn't affect life expectancy. One symptom results in calcium deposits in the brain, which is the cause of SM's lack of fear. The fear response is located in the amygdala, which controls the processing of emotions, and the calcium deposits in SM's brain have completely destroyed her amygdala. While feeling no fear might seem blissful, there is a very real and dangerous problem. SM has to constantly be processing danger, as her body will not be able to naturally alert her to danger. That SM goes toward danger gives Feinstein a clue of how the amygdala works. To Feinstein, this suggests that the amygdala is functioning at an unconscious level. Instead of losing interest in things that don't scare her, which might be expected, SM becomes curious. She tends to approach the very things she should be avoiding. SM's lack of fear is not only connected to life-threatening situations. She is also not fazed by public speaking, her heart beating too fast, or being judged negatively in social situations, all things that rank high on what most people fear. For most people, fear is an inherent or conditioned response. We fear what we don't understand, can't control, or will cause us harm. According to Ranker.com, the top fears were voted to be heights, bugs, confined spaces, deep water, public speaking, and needles. The first thing fear does is immediately induce the fight or flight response. Your heart rate rises, you can get tunnel vision, you feel stress from cortisol levels rising, and your body limits several functions in order to divert energy to the muscles. According to Dr. Gregory Burns, this means the body cannot make rational decisions in this state. People are more likely to take risks and react defensively. Fear makes us fear the things we associate with it. If you have a fearful experience in a wood, you might be afraid of the whole wood, the nearby town or village, or even all woods entirely, creating a conditioned fear. Conditioned fears are formed when we have a negative experience and are afraid of something similar happening again. SM, however, continues to take the same late-night route home where she was grabbed and a knife was held against her throat. Fear can also manifest by simply being told that something is negative, such as a group or a community of people. Even though these fears have no rational basis, the fear takes root in the mind and can lead to an ongoing negative association that can lead to a personal burden a person harbors, or worse, destructive actions. In the lab, researchers tried all they could to think of to scare SM, but nothing worked. She was unafraid of horror films such as Silence of the Lambs. Her other emotions not being impaired, she giggled in one of the most haunted houses in America, poking the monsters in the eyes, and even scaring the frighteners, while the rest of the group she was with huddled together in fear. Although SM reveals what the world might be like to anyone who doesn't experience fear, neuroscientist Hans Malkowitsch of the University of Bielefeld, Germany, says what is true of one person is not necessarily true of all people. While the amygdala is pivotal in processing fear, Markowitz says one could argue that the amygdala cannot act on its own. It's dependent on connections, on circuits, on other brain regions. In other words, it is not known how anybody else would act, and what specifically leads SM to act in the way that she does. She describes another instance as strange. SM was walking through a park at night. A man ran up to her and put a knife to her throat. She calmly told him he would have to go through her guardian angel first. The man became scared and ran away.
Still here? Go ahead and subscribe. There's plenty more chills and creepy stories that are going to waste without your eyes and ears. But don't just watch. If you have something to say, put it in the comments. There was something else I was going to say. Something about liking the video. Never mind. I'm Deadhead. Only I and nothing more.